Howdy. Let's see what's going on Facebook. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm here for my Tuesday night spiritual tea talk, just seeing if I can find it on my on the phone so that oops, not the phone. There we go. So that I can see you guys if you write any comments. That's just write any comments. There we go. We turn the volume down and then I can concentrate on you guys. If you're here, say hi. We've got a similar topic to what I discussed last week, but I wanted to kind of have a different twist to it. Love to know that you're here. Oh, Kathy's here. Hey, Kathy. I guess I get to see you tomorrow, Kathy. I'm looking forward to that. And Margaret's here as well. That's wonderful. So let me introduce myself before I get too far along. My name is Kathy. I'm a tea leaf and tarot reader, and I'm also a sipology or steep tea consultant. Been selling quality loose leaf tea and tea accessories for over 9 years, and been providing readings professionally over 5 years. And as I usually say, the time just goes so quickly. So next thing you know, the years have gone. Oh, Zahara, thank you for joining me as well. So tonight I wanted to talk about flow, or at least going with the flow. And I really wanted to mention the fact that sometimes we make things a little tougher than they need to be. And maybe I will be pulling some cards about this, but the concept of, excuse me, going with the flow is interesting, because a lot of times we don't know whether or not we're going with the flow or going against the flow. And I love to use the analogy of a river. So if you're going to go upstream, it's really difficult. If you're going to go downstream with the flow, everything is just so much easier. You will get to where you want to go. And I know the first question that everybody asks is, but I want to get over there, and how do I get over there from here? If this, anyway, I believe anyways, that sometimes we're not meant to go the other way, or we're meant to get there by going somewhere first and then eventually get there. So the whole key to making life a little easier, and yeah, over 9 years with Sipology, Kathy. Yeah, isn't that crazy? 2012 is when I got introduced to them. Yeah, and the readings too is 5 years, which to me is is hard to believe as well. So when we're trying to do something, and I don't know if anybody wants to share a current goal or a current thing that they're doing, but I guess I'm always, of course, looking for new clients, right? So how do I reach people? How do I market? How do I, go with the flow as opposed to against the flow? And I was just listening to someone else do a webinar today, and they were talking about, being, about a lot of the old ways of doing things are not working anymore. So, doing a webinar where you get 100 people in a room and then try to sell them real estate or whatever, because, things have changed. Things like COVID has made it very difficult to do in person. People don't want to be sold to the same way that they used to be. Nowadays, we really need to move in to more of a leadership, or as Christine Hull loves to say, the trust, like, and know factor when you do networking, when you're trying to get new clients or customers. It's, to me, that is being in the flow. Doing the things that you need to do that feel good to you, that's being in the flow. But if to you, and I know I was always one, cold calls, not interested at all. Anytime that might come up in my direct sales business, I just could not pick up the phone. And the couple times that I did it, I might not do it again for 6 months. So it didn't serve me any purpose by doing it once and then, leaving a message with someone. So to me, that is what I'm talking about here. Does something feel good? Does something feel authentic that you're doing? Or does it feel kind of icky and doesn't really match your personality or your beliefs or how you want to represent yourself? So being authentic, being you, is going with the flow, but doing something that everybody else tells you is the best way to do this. This is how you're going to get sales. This is how you're going to, meet more people. This is how you're going to become a millionaire. And to me, there's no cookie cutter. There's no one way to do something. So even though people do have a lot of knowledge and do share that, I don't always feel that it's a good fit for me or that it's a good fit for everyone. So it's knowing what things resonate with you and what things don't. And then that just makes things a lot easier and a lot easier to get to your goals, a lot easier to get to where you want to be, and you don't feel that stress and you don't feel that uncomfortableness when you go and do things. So I don't know if anybody else has a good example for me as to how they may have done something that they feel is more their way as opposed to someone else's way, and then how it turned out. But I'd love for you guys to share that if you can think of something right away that that you may have done. But definitely cold calling is not the way for me to get in touch with people and for me to stay in touch with people. I really love, it's funny because even, it's close to 2 years I've been doing these Facebook Lives, because I started in June, so we're not quite there, a couple more months. But when someone told me about doing Facebook Lives, it didn't feel right, but the more often I did them, the easier they got. And even now, I don't necessarily script them or plan them months in advance. I talk from the heart, and I be me. That's what I want to say. I'm being myself and sharing what I call little nuggets or little bit of wisdom that I hope helps other people have a better day, a better month, make their life maybe a little bit easier if they reframe or they look at things a little bit differently. So to me, that's kind of my mission, is to just kind of share and work with people that resonate with what I'm saying and how I do things as well. So I think that's all I wanted to share tonight. I'm so happy that you guys joined me because really it does provide me with a lot of joy. And I feel the love too when you guys join me and continue on with watching these. So as I said, I'll have to celebrate when I get to the 2-year mark, because that's a really big milestone for me. But of course, I'd love to remind you guys what I do. So I do 30 and 60-minute tea leaf readings. And I do my readings on Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays. If you're looking for a Thursday reading, I am over at Styleworthy. They're in Streetsville, right behind the IDA, if you know the area. So I'm doing in person there, but the rest of my time, I'm really trying to stick to online and maybe find a place. That's the other thing I'd love to do, is find a location for myself too, that I can do in-person readings. So that's on the bucket list. But yeah, there's always seems to be lots going on. I've already got bookings for Mother's Day. So if someone else was looking to do a tea or have some people in person, I do come to you as well. If you so wish to get your readings done in person, I can travel. But we'll let it go, and we'll thank you guys so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you next week, if not before then. Take care.